여러분, 안녕하세요. My new book, Korean Grammar Palette for Beginners 1, has been officially released, and you can find it not just in Korea, but also internationally on Amazon, and both the paperback and ebook versions are available. So in this video, let's take a look inside the book together, and I'll also explain how you can use the book to make the most of it. This book has 14 chapters, including an appendix chapter, and each chapter starts with grammar explanations and examples, followed by reference boxes that provide additional details when needed. You will also find the 꿀팁 sections in between, which literally means honey tip, and it's a fun slang term for highly useful tips, and these are all based on the frequently asked questions among the learners. And you can also find the 연습 practice sections and quiz sections with the accompanying audio files, and they will help you to check your understanding along the way. And at the end of each chapter, you'll find the final review exercises to reinforce everything you've learned in that chapter. And as a kind of a break time in between chapters, you will also find the sections for cultural and linguistic insights, and they include fun topics like how Korean names work, common vocabulary, everyday expressions, and so on. So while this book mainly focuses on grammar, it also helps you build vocabulary too along the way. So this is a question that I also asked myself before writing this book because I had already organized beginner grammar in my videos, so why create a book on the same topic? But as I was writing the book, I realized that the focus when creating videos and when writing a book is different. So of course, I do put in a lot of work and care into every single video lessons to make it as easy as possible to understand while being as detailed as I can. But one key difference is that some explanations work better in videos, while others are more suited for a book. So in videos, for example, I have the flexibility to highlight the key points in real time, like changing the tone of my voice or underlining the important parts with my pen and so on. But a book relies more heavily on text itself, although we also paid attention to visual presentation, which I will come back to it soon. But because of this, I had to dedicate a lot more effort to crafting the clearest written explanations possible to ensure that as you go through this book, you can explore basic Korean with as much clarity, fun, and confidence as possible. And coming back to the visuals, so both the editing and design teams at the publisher work really hard to enhance the visual elements, not just to make the book more engaging and effective, but also to kind of balance out the potential boredom that could come from interacting with text alone. So it really is a book that we have put a lot of love, care, and thought into. There's no strict way you must follow to study with this book, but I do have a recommended method that I would suggest. So first of all, please trust the process with this book and follow the book in order without the pressure to memorize everything. So just read through everything carefully, do the given exercises, and make sure you focus on understanding rather than memorizing every single detail. And I also want to get into the details of how to use this book with audiovisual materials. And let's start with the audio first. So as I mentioned earlier, the practice and quiz sections come with accompanying audio. And these aren't dictation exercises, so you can do the questions without the audio. But especially as a beginner, it's very important to train your ear to get familiar with Korean sounds. That's why I recommend listening to the audio after completing the exercises, so you can follow along with the text as you listen. And this will help you connect the written form with how it sounds, which improves your listening skills tremendously. So I highly encourage you to make use of the audio files. And as for the videos, guys, so unlike my absolute beginner book, this grammar book doesn't provide a video playlist via QR codes because I initially decided against a separate playlist for this book because, like I explained, even if the topics are the same, they don't directly overlap. However, I've gotten more questions about the video playlist than I had expected, and so after much thought, I figured a matching video playlist for this book would be helpful. So I went ahead and created the playlist, so you can now find a playlist in the description box of this video. That said, I don't recommend studying with the book and the video at the same time because the content doesn't directly overlap. Instead, I suggest going through the chapter in the book first. Then, if there's something you didn't fully understand, or if you like to review the same topic using a different material, you can watch the corresponding video from the playlist. The playlist follows the same chapter order as the book, so it would be easy to find what you're looking for. And this way, you can study once with the book and then again with the videos, and that would really consolidate your understanding. And there are two more things I would like you to know before using this book. So first of all, this book does not include romanization for Korean text because at the grammar level, it's important to move beyond romanization and engage directly with Korean text and sounds. Because of this, I decided that omitting romanization would be the best approach for this book. But if you're still struggling with Hangul, I highly recommend starting with this book, All You Need Korean for Absolute Beginners. It's a book for Korean learners who are not yet comfortable with Hangul, and you can also learn all the essential basics before moving on to the grammar, and that'll make the transition to this grammar book much smoother. And the second note I want to make is the font used in this book. So if you've started with my Absolute Beginners book, you might notice a slight difference in how 지읒, 치읒, and 히읗 are written. Both styles are acceptable and common forms, and they simply vary depending on your handwriting styles and fonts. And I just wanted to point this out in case you're not familiar with these variations of these letters. So as you may have noticed from the title Beginners 1, there is also a second book coming, Korean Grammar Palette for Beginners 2. And the second book is expected to be available sometime this summer. I'm also working on a workbook for Beginners 1 and 2 combined. In the workbook, I'll be adding lots of different types of exercises that I couldn't fit into the main book. And if there's anything in particular you'd like to see in the workbook, feel free to leave a comment and we'll take them into consideration. So yes, guys, there are 2 more books coming and I would really appreciate your interest and support. If you enjoyed the book or have any suggestions for improvement, please consider leaving a review on Amazon, bookstores, or even your social media. That would be very helpful, not just for me as an author, but also for other learners who are on the lookout for a good Korean book. And if you have any questions while studying with the book, feel free to leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to help. 책에 관심 가져주셔서 너무너무 감사드리고요. 여러분께서 이 책으로 더 재미있게 공부하실 수 있었으면 좋겠습니다. 다음 영상에서 또 만나요. 안녕.